Uh, First of all, I had the chance to vote for it, and I'm proud of it. Didn't get through the Senate, but as I indicated earlier, the idea is to see if this could be done by executive order by a President of the United States. And then it would be up to Congress to try to repeal it and do it the other way. So, I think when you see how this President has taken executive orders to take down the Constitution, essentially, it seems to me that we may be able to use an executive order to institute a card check, particularly in those areas where they have any kind of federal contracts at all. So I'm thinking about that. We're looking at that right now. But let's go back to the right to organize. There was a Teamsters local in Cleveland that went through an attack on the right to organize, and they were actually decertified. This was a Teamsters local that worked in the salt mines up in Lake Erie. And I worked right with them to fight the first decertification. They ended up winning that one, and then the company came back and they said, well, you know, you had guys who were passing out literature they weren't supposed to be, and so we want another election. Well, the company got another election, and I stood with them, and they won a second decertification election. And one of my proud mementos in my congressional office is an honorary card that Local 436 gave me in Cleveland. This attack on workers and their right to organize is one of the most serious issues in our society today. Because why is it, let's ask ourselves, why is the right to organize the subject of so much of a struggle throughout the history of this country? Because the right to organize is tied directly to people's ability to make a decent living, right? To get a wage. If you come together as a group, you have the right to organize, then you can take the next step to enforce the right to collective bargaining. See, this is the issue in our democratic society. This really determines whether we have a democratic society. Do workers have any rights at all? Because if you don't have that right to organize, if you don't have the right to bargain collectively, you're out of luck. You really are. I mean, the employer has all of the power otherwise. They have the power to move the jobs out. They have the power to determine your wages, your benefits, your working conditions, the hours you work. We had a whole tradition of a labor struggle that our parents and our grandparents were involved in. People put their lives on the line during the 30s, literally, and some still do, and put their careers on the line. But again, let's go back to what it means to have a president. A president who will stand for workers. Somebody who remembers where he came from. Somebody who can't be bought. Someone who can't be bossed. Someone who can't be intimidated. Just to be there for workers. Just that in and of itself changes everything. And then you start to work all of the executive power into statements that protect workers' interests. So, yes, employee free choice is just one part of it. It's the philosophy that underlies a government. And we're losing our way in this country. We're getting away from what we were intended to be in the first place. This idea of a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, which was Lincoln's prayer expressed in that Gettysburg Address, is something that we're losing. And it's only if we send those rights back to workers that we can restore it. I see workers' rights as being connected right to the fiber of our democracy. This isn't something that's just a peripheral matter. This is central to who we are as a nation. It's central to who we are.